afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, of Hit or 1 vs 1 on the new map Nexus. I'm just repeating this, new map Nexus. Now, I'm sure someone will still be asking, is this a new map in the comments? But anyways, we're off here on the new map Nexus. I said it a third time. In the west, it's VonAsten, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, the first armed nation. Under attack here from experts Baoliang, fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Counter-attacking here with the full might of the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich using Mechanized Assault. Double assault grenadiers. Baoliang boldly stepping where few players step at all. With double rifle here for VonAsten, standard start there as well. Infantry, recon support and mechanized company there are what the tools available to VonAsten here to fight against Nazis. Under the command, of course, in this case, Baoliang. Assault grenadiers saying no flips there, their hands clenching the MP40s. And of course, the patch is not out yet. The assault grenadiers have not yet been buffed. Which, by the way, seem to include a 6-man upgrade here for the assault grenadiers once that patch is out. But for now, Baoliang is going again where few damn-up players will ever go, which is, in the first place, Mechanized Assault with assault grenadiers. And he's not just going for 1, he's going for 2, which is already here completely off, the beaten trail. There's some sneaking about here. Moving through some wreckage here from some blown up train. We got a 3rd assault grenadier squad. 3 assault grenadier squads here. My god. And there you go. Quickly using sprinter to close in with the rifleman. Very good users there. By the way, a lot of people tend not to use the sprint ability in the assault grenadiers, but actually tend to be very critical because you want to fast close in there with the MP40. So that when sort of getting the most damage. You can see they push back the rifleman, suffered a single casualty, but was able to deal 2 casualties in return and push back the rifleman there with less than half health. So good push there. Go again. Note sprint once more here from Baoliang here to get close to the rifleman. Of course, got VonAsten joining in this time, which could very well change the arithmetic of this engagement. There we go. The assault is now suffering much heavier damage, plus the rifleman and the light cover. Still end up taking him down to less than half health. Had the RNG been slightly different, he might have even gotten some model kills, but there you go. 2nd assault gun just coming up here in the center, going for the cough one there with the pioneers, cutting off VonAsten's munitions. Certainly a bit of an interesting flow there with the munitions point and how they're sort of set up. Up north here, pioneers push back with 2 rifle squads there by VonAsten. No sign yet. They've taken up. There we go. We got the platoon command post being set up here for VonAsten and the 1st Armored Division and the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich strikes. Back here, reinforcement take up there for Baoliang. We'll have to see where it goes next for this. Southern fuel point secured here for freedom and democracy. Up north, the assault is continuing southwards here. A rifleman there. Got the assault moving out with MP40s. The Schmeisser was colloquially known, but really had nothing to do with Schmeisser, as a fun fact. And of course, the MP40 was not the only submachine gun the Germans used, just the main one, but they actually used a variety of submachine guns. Some older models like the MP34. Which primarily was actually made by the Danes and the Austrians, also known as the Bergmann MP34, I believe. It was also quite useful. And they were they even used, I think, some of the old World War I vintage ones, actually. Anyway, so it's going to go double rush here. Both squads spreading in. They just quickly force VonAsten to retreat, realizing he's going to lose a lot of riflemen very fast if he does not get a move on swiftly. Down here we got the like to make a nice company up there for Baoliang and the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich. Rifleman out here. Seizing points here. 5th caliber on the way there for VonAsten to help deal with the assault grenadiers. So they've got choice, plus also helps them deal with the light vehicles if you can set it up at the right spot. I've just only seen what VonAsten in previous episodes can do with a 50 caliber. He's got some very fluid play with that one. 50 caliber they're almost done. We'll have to see what it goes for. I mean, a 251 half tick could theoretically work well with the assault grenadiers. I'm just closing a hand to sprint. You could also go for the 2-2 option. And there you go, grenade assault. Grenades being flung all over the place. Not quite the best throw, but still end up getting a few casualties there. Gaining veterans on the process, but they're going to have to retreat here. By the way, I really again want to just give a thumbs up there to Baoliang for his consistent use of sprint. Again, really overlooked ability in a lot of cases with a lot of doctrines that offer it, but again, also in the assault grenadiers with it because again, it's really crucial. 2-2 on the way there for Baoliang though, and the 2nd SS Panzerdivision das Reich. One of the first initial SS units, which started out, I think, a sort of battalion regimental level, was sort of, as the initial stage of the war, sort of formed into full divisions. I believe they sort of start as infantry units, then motorized units, Panzer Grenadiers, that is, or Schützen, as well, the previous title of Panzer Grenadiers, and then sort of, I think, roughly 1943-44, they were turned into Panzer divisions. 2-2 setting out there. Assault gunners reinforcing and noting no bunker yet here for Baoliang. Engaging the lieutenant, going up close and active here with the autocannon coaxial machine gun there of the 222. Like to punch Speerwagen, committing there to the second one. Overall, very aggressive play of Baoliang, which is sense is probably also what's catching FonAsten a bit off guard, because usually you just don't see the Wehrmacht playing this aggressively. Even if they play aggressive, they usually do it with machine guns, which sort of makes them slightly more predictable, but Baoliang is just going all in there, full ball. Oh, he's going to lose it here, but he might get the rifle squad return. No, close one there, and the last man runs and survives. Oh, no, he gets it with the Pioneers. 2-2 the rifle squad. I'm not entirely sure which one really won out there. I would say they're roughly sort of same cost. So hard to say. He's got a second one out there. We got the ambulance over there for FonAsten. We got Racing holding up here. Soldiers charging forwards there. Big push in the south here for Baoliang and the 2nd SS up north here. Pioneers there. Rifle squad grabbing the northern fuel point. Second 2-2 arriving here. We got Racing there being pushed away by the assault grenadiers. The MP40 is blazing away with death and fury. Back here, troops reinforcing. Ambulance, guess got cancelled. Did it just magically explode? No, I guess he cancelled it for something else. Might have decided he wanted to tech out there and go for the Stuart light tank first act to counter the 2-2. Very good choice there, actually, probably. 2-2 sweeping about there, firing Ret's armies. Assault grenadiers here charging force, but we've got the 50 cal there causing a problem. They can't sprint their way through that one. Otherwise, it'd probably be a bit busted. Still, he's using, I think, to keep the 50 cal occupied. 2-2 falling back, but there goes Strange with Rifle with the anti-tank rifle. It could do some critical damage to the 2-2. And there goes Assault grenadiers flanking here. The 50 cal there, taking advantage of the dawn. Again, just tied it down. Nice flank here by Baoliang. Completely routing him up north. 2-2 about to go down. Steward following up here for FonAsten, and Baoliang is setting up for the Mechanised Assault group. I mean, he's got a lot of resources floating. Oh, never mind, he was. 250 half-track out there for Baoliang. Usually part of a Panzer Division's Armoured Reconnaissance Battalion. Or regiment, actually, where there sort of then be a battalion of Panzer Grenadiers in these half-tracks. Fun note, they were not themselves the actual scouts. They were there to support the armoured cars, usually by attacking parts of the front line to allow the armoured cars to sweep through and what they're not. And a lot of the time they're just basically used as another armoured battalion of Panzer Grenadiers. Usually mean they're sort of part of, say, the fire brigades, and like just sort of more elite. So a little fun fact there about the Panzer Grenadiers in 250 half-tracks. But there you go, realise it's going to hit with an anti-tank rifle, it just quickly pops up. There you go, Rifle getting absolutely shredded here. 250 half-track machine gun, and the Panzer Grenadier laying down some serious firepower, certainly highlighting that the 250 half-track has become a lot more desirable after the recent, changes. Well, recent, but the last changes to it, which again made it so much better because it sort of more resembled, an actual half-track. It's likely going to lose it here, but even then, getting a rifle squad wipe for this is, pretty good. I mean, FonAsten's down to just the rifle squad and the lieutenant. That is, in terms of tactical wins, they're pretty good for Baoliang. He still hasn't actually lost a single infantry squad. He's lost a 2-2. He's lost a half-track, but, he's actually gotten several wipes on a FonAsten return. So, I mean, that's, not entirely bad. Troops are reinforcing here, and comparatively, FonAsten's going to struggle with these infantry losses, and will need to replace them. The soldiers need to fall back. They lack any way of sort of protecting themselves against the Stuart light tank. I could maybe see the Panzer Grenadiers here being upgraded with the Panzer Schreck to deal with the Stuart light tank. There we go. A Kitten Panzerbuchse, as they're also known. Ambulance on the way there for FonAsten and the 1st Armoured Division as they continue to reel here under the Germans' fanatical assaults. Sturmbannführer Baoliang showing here absolutely no mercy. 5th Cav there setting up, again using it to aggressively sort of support his troops wherever necessary. Problem is that it seems like Baoliang might be onto this, and he's keeping the 2-2 at a safe distance. Plus, I mean, he's got no reason to really want to get close with the bazooka team anyways. Troops are healing and forcing. Big push here from Baoliang. Lots of assault troops there. The Panzer Grenadiers, now Panzerjägers, backing up to assault grenadier squads. That is a lot of firepower on the move. I mean, any troops getting caught in that is going to regret it, unless, of course, they run straight all of them into the 50 caliber, in which case Baoliang's going to regret it. 2-2 receiving some light repairs. Stuart light tank here down south, the M5A1. Baoliang here beginning to spread up his troops, very good. And I think it looks like the Panzerjäger's going to hang south first, moving another assault gun in tow. But good move here, spreading them up that way, ensuring they don't just all get stopped by one machine gun. There we go. Needs to quickly sprint it to get out of the arc of fire before the 50 caliber can react to this. Well, he's not paying attention. There we go. Looks like FonAsten paid attention there more than Baoliang, and there you go, routed resistance, keeping up the suppression of the assault grenadiers. And there you go, second assault gun flanking from the south, catching the resistance guard. There you go in the centre, Panzerjägers keep the Stuart from pushing after the 2-2 destroying it. And we got a Pioneer squad here holding up in an old wrecked, bow building. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but either way, the Pioneers are occupying it. You'd think this building had anything to do with power utilities, but as it turns out, it's actually storing all of Goering's pornography. Yeah. He has a lot of pornography in here, and some of it is kind of weird. Anyways, 2-2 rolling back there for repairs. Assault grenadiers setting out. We got another mechanized assault group out here for Baoliang. Gott im Himmel. He truly is dedicated. Ralph's squad here is about to get stormed here. Two assault squad charging in and just blazing away with MP4. We've got the 5th cover there, suppressing and ensuring that Baoliang's assault does not continue here. And he's equipping the other Panzer Grenadier squad there with Panzerschrecks. Well, he's going to have a lot of Panzerschrecks as well here to give VonAsten a really rough time. Well, not that he wasn't already giving him a rough time with all those assault grenadiers, as it turns out. Panzerjägers are catching the rifle squad. Not really good situation there for the Panzerjägers. Even with the rifle this low in health, the problem is he's down to just the Panzerschrecks now pretty fast, so he needs to retreat here before he drops a Panzerschreck or two, which of course would be really helpful for VonAsten. 2 moving forward straight at the 50 caliber. There we got the student moving nearby, but has to be careful. And there you go, half track with the few assault rifles inside the half track. Oh, quickly taking a lot of damage out in the 50 caliber, almost getting it wiped here in fact. Quickly popping up the Panzerjägers, but I feel like the half track is sort of stuck in terms of pathing. Nope. Oh, got the half track there with a single shot there through the rear, leaving Baoliang down another half track. VonAsten meanwhile also able to replenish his infantry losses with 2 fresh infantry scores. And there you go, bang grenade. Oh! Could have quickly negated those replenishments. But definitely not your average Wehrmacht versus USF fight. I mean, so far Baoliang is definitely pushing the doctrine in ways we usually have not seen it used at all. So, I mean, that's impressive in his own right. No take-up yet there for Baoliang. We'll have to see what he plans next. Could be Stuggy spam, which is what some players actually just use the doctrine for, which tends to make it a bit boring, but who knows, Baoliang might have something up his sleeve here. Assault is going here straight for the Lieutenant, no grenades here, and they're just a wall of bullets just pushing back the Lieutenant. In the south, Panzerjägers moving ahead, he can't call in the Stuggy now, or he might just ignore it. Stuart setting out again, no Panzerjägers nearby to bag up here. As the other unit is back and base getting reinforced here, Stuart going straight ahead. And of course right here there's a bit of a particular gap in Baoliang's force composition, which is he's absolutely 0 Panzerfausts. Meaning he really only has mines essentially trying to snap a vehicle or blow them up. Beyond that he's got no... Oh! Grenade storm here on the 50 caliber. Even the rifle gets slightly hit by it, but in the end not quite enough there. Close one for Baoliang. Panzerjäger squad they're pushing back the Stuart, or at least the Stuart decides to back off before it might encounter one. In the south here, double rifle squad for the isolated Panzerjäger squad. Good move there tactically by VonAsten. Of course, it does mean he's less concentrated elsewhere, but it does give him maybe a chance. And oh dear, flank exposed here, and there we go. Baoliang senses this, goes in with the assault gunners again. One unit retreating, but quickly cleared out here by the assault gunners by the veteran too. Very nasty. Assault gunners do get some good bonuses as the veterans up. The problem is just later into the game they're usually pretty... Oh, we got a wipe there, by good work. But the problem is just used as the fight progresses. If you lose one, it's not really worth it to call in another one, amongst other things. So that tends to be one reason you usually don't see them that much anyways. To the unit repairs, Panzerjägers out. And we got a third 250 half-track mechanized assault group from Baoliang. Good God. That's roughly, I think, a platoon there. Obviously, one of the half-tracks in the platoon would have been equipped with a 30mm gun to sort of, provide a bit further and heavier firepower to support the troops. Fun fact. There we go, closing in on the rifleman with the assault rifles and the machine gun on top. Fun fact, the machine gunner of the half-track there was also the commander of the vehicle, if you will. And the sort of, that way, order where to go and all that. No fun note. On the other hand, if there was a rear gun in the half-track, it was usually operated by someone from the Panzer Grenadier squad riding along it. would use one of the squad's machine guns to equip it. Fun little fact there. Panzerjägers here being pushed back. Need to retreat those Panzerjägers schnell. Back here to being repaired. 5th car being hauled forward here by Baoliang. Managed to steal one there off VonAsten there previously. After that engagement by the northern fuel point. So now Baoliang also has firepower that way. But he's now got 5 infantry squads still. 3 panzer grenadiers this time around with the 2 assault grenadiers. VonAsten taking up, they're going for Shermans most likely. He's also going for infantry, allowing him to equip Browning light machine guns so that way fight the troops a bit better at range. There we go, Panzerjägers here flanking the Stuart light tank 5th caliber. They can't really defend it there. Panzer grenadiers moving forward, hit backed up with the 5th caliber. Even got armor piercing rounds here. There you go, pushing back the 5th caliber up north. Fuel pumping seized by the assault grenadiers. One squad there, by the way, is actually close to Veterancy 3 and the ace level. Big rifle push here from VonAsten. His men finally equipped with glorious Browning light machine guns to show those Nazis who's got the big guns, or at least lots of guns. Panzer guns then need to retreat before they get wiped out here. I mean, you can notice there a Browning horde there can very quickly do a lot of damage, but generally any light machine gun equipped unit like that can do that. Grenadiers can also, quickly wipe out a unit like that. It's a bit sort of the thing about how light machine guns kind of work in the game. You do to an extent encourage blobbing or hoarding up a bit there. You can see these quick to split them up so it's less of a blob. Assault gunners, panzer gunners moving northwards. Up here we got troops bit of sort of back and forth here with the northern fuel area. Hard to say what Baoliang is playing at next though. As things are looking, it would seem like he's just now going to try and stall for the Tiger tank, which normally I'd not be hugely keen on, but I mean, he's actually making otherwise pretty great use of the doctrine. He's actually making heavy use of assault gunners and Mechanised Assault group, so and this is probably one of the situations where, if that is the case, I'm willing to let it slide. I mean, he's actually doing something interesting, rather than just, say, the usual rote, not very intelligent plays with the doctrine. And there you go, popping an assault gunner squad this time, switching out with Panzerjägers, forming up a mobile anti-tank group. Now, of course, they wouldn't actually fire out a half-track with Panzerschrecks, I'm pretty sure of that. Too many things I think that could go wrong. Could pop into the house and just fire at the Stuart from inside, but decides not to do it. Or maybe there's some weird pathing area there, I don't know. But getting supposed to the 5th caliber, making things a bit more difficult. So I've seen we've got the Panzer, got the Panzerschrecks, and there we go. Stuart down as he gets pelted by rockets. I think a total of 4 that went through, at least 3 were sufficient. Oh, armor piercing rounds, but not fast enough. And there you go, the half-track pushes out the 5th caliber there in the north as well. In the south, big engagement here. But VonAsten there with enough light machine guns and heavy machine guns. East repels Baoliang and the 2nd SS Panzer Division's assault there. Arriving heading northwards. Sherman on the way there. Baoliang, no take up. Would certainly seem like he is on the Tiger path. And again, he's got enough anti-tank firepower with the Panzerschrecks. So theoretically, can actually hold off a potential Sherman. At least force VonAsten to have to play Sherman carefully, because those Panzerschrecks can do a lot of damage reasonably fast in big bursts. In the south, just sneaking up behind here. 5th caliber riding right from there. Right now, VonAsten is in map controller compared to Baoliang, but Baoliang could possibly swing it aggressively back in his favour if VonAsten is not careful. And here, Baoliang, I think, is not careful getting a hit when there's a tank right from there. It's 2-2. 5th caliber versus 5th caliber. Pioneers on the way there for Baoliang. Troops are hitting in full sync. Not entirely sure what he's playing with that half track. Panzerjägers routed, grabbing the northern victory point. We've got rifles squabbling about there. Lots of action across the map here between these two players. And now the players you might notice is, really just getting, obsessed with one point and just trying to conduct the meat grind action. I think part of this is also just the design of the map. It has a sort of very nice flow to it. And I think in some ways it opens up more for just taking different paths. So, thumbs up to the map maker here. Thumbs up. Panzer guns backed up here by assault guns moving straight for the fuel point to defend against the armies. 5th caliber there, the quick suppress the Panzer grenadiers. In the south, pushing through, we got the Sherman moving in. We got the Panzerjägers are basically far removed, so they can't stop the Sherman. Bit unfortunate there for Baoliang. The half-track, they might be able to quickly, ferry some downwards. And there you go, Panzer flanking up. Oh, popping a 50 caliber there. Oh, bomb grenade on the 50 caliber. In fact, almost wiping it out there. Clearly, VonAsten, they've forgotten about the Panzer guns there due to all the intense fighting. And there you go, the 50 caliber gets wiped. But there you go, grabs it with the lieutenant, but could get wiped out of the 50 caliber. And then he would grab it again. In the center, we've got Sherman rolling up here. 50 caliber grab at the Panzer Grenadiers. Assault guns being fought here. In the meanwhile, Sherman charging forward, trying to deny the Nazis the steel, but it is too late already. They have made off with it, and instead it's going to get a face full of rockets. There we go. Heavy damage to the Sherman, chewing off 1/3 of its health. Back here, troops reinforcing. Panzerjäger getting into the half track. Another 50 cover there for VonAsten to replace the one lost to the Germans, to Baoliang. Pioneers thinking about here, could consider maybe some telemines, and he's getting very close to the target. He's almost got the fuel. He's got the fuel. Actually, he's almost got the manpower, and he just needs half a command point more, and he'll be good to go. To head down Blitzkrieg Avenue. The soldiers moving forward here, Riflemen moving in there with the brown light machine guns. Clearing out the reactions there with their minesweepers. Not that he's been laying down in mines, but obviously VonAsten is not so silly to assume that Baoliang would ever do that. 50 caliber, there's Rifleman there, catching by the point there, half track waiting for the Sherman to appear and I think trying to ambush it. And there we go. Baoliang has the target tank out and in the Pinelmont machine gun. Troops in Salfords here, flamethrower pioneers. We got mines from VonAsten, by the way, thumbs up there, but none from Baoliang. And there's also obviously some good spots, like for example this area, would I think be a good spot to lay down telemines on. All right, big push into north here for Baoliang. Infantry, machine guns, and of course the Tiger tank. Pioneers are moving up and caught by the Sherman and routed. Panzerjägers moving in there, Tiger tank sweeping through here. And with this, we've got a complete collapse up on the north, VonAsten up north here. Possibly just the sound of the Tiger tank. He's probably realised what's coming and just does not wish his men to get utterly annihilated by a Tiger tank. Sherman gets a nice hit on the half tank. Need to get the Panzerjägers out there soon. Oh, Tiger shoots, misses. Half track goes down, but the Sherman here could be in trouble. Several hits here, motion being laid down. And note the way he's throwing it, by the way. He knows if he tries to fight in the direction of the Tiger tank, it's going to be too late. But by throwing into where he's expecting to go through, you can still get the Sherman through safely and, dodge a shot there. Nicely done there for VonAsten. That is top notch. 2 thumbs up. Tiger tank continues here. Baoliang doesn't care. In the end, he might just find himself another target. And who knows, maybe VonAsten's pulling an old rifle from there. Simply to tempt Baoliang to just stop up and give the Sherman more time to get out. But of course, he's going to pay a bloody price for this little diversion as his riflemen are getting utterly annihilated. I mean, that is quite the butcher's bill there. VonAsten paid to save his tank. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14? Maybe 15? Oh, wait, that's a lot of killing by the Tiger. At least one rifle squad was entirely snuffed out there. It's an absolutely brutal, devastating attack there by Baoliang. Brutal stuff. Up here, Assault gets charged straight for the rifle. The ace level Valve, veteran free, they are quite the dangerous customers, hard to kill, and of course, very good at killing in return. There you go, rifle squad down. He's just lost 2 rifle squads, if not more, in a short amount of time. The casualties are piling up for VonAsten. He is bleeding dry. Absolutely horrific stuff. VonAsten still has his tank, he still has some infantry, and he's bringing up with Jackson tanks for the front against the Tiger tank, but the situation is looking pretty grim here for VonAsten for the 1st Armoured Division, as it has been bloodied brutally by the hardened veterans of the 2nd SS Panzerdivision Das Reich. Grabbing the southern fuel point here, troops moving about here, Panzer Grenadiers falling back, Sherman sitting up there swiftly for VonAsten. Tiger switches, hit some of the environment instead. Hits it again, blowing apart a lot of metal, but no Yankees. There you go, Jackson out here for VonAsten. Unit there got splattered out by the Tiger tank. As so many other things have been splattered out by it. It's at 22 killed already. An absolute and utter behemoth in the service of Deutschland. Back here, troops hitting reinforcing. Jackson rolling out here for VonAsten. And he's going to make the push here. 5th Cavalry, they're caught in a really bad spot here. And we got another Mechanized Assault Group. That's his 4th Mechanized Assault Group. That has got to be a record. Wow. At this point, I think he should begin taking out there to bring up armor to back up his Tiger tank against VonAsten. But there you go, lots of Panzerjägers, rockets flying at the Sherman there, hurtling through the air, and we got a... He's getting a 3rd Panzerjäger squad here. The situation is not getting better for VonAsten. The odds are not improving, but VonAsten fights. He believes in victory, democracy, cheeseburgers. Tiger tank falling backwards. Assault gun is moving forwards to cover up the retreat up north. Points being seized there. Even as he's fighting VonAsten head on, he's still trying to grab as much of the map and the victory points. We got 245 to 225. 5th Cavalry opening up the assault gunners here by the train wreckages. Up north, 5th Cavalry pushing back the riflemen. Panzer gunners and a 50 cal. That is a high DPS combination that's going to ruin most infantry's day. Now, so take up there for Baoliang. Jackson riflemen sending forwards here, slowly pushing back. VonAsten being hit, they're pushing back slow. VonAsten. My apologies, got the names wrong in the wrong order there. It's definitely my mistake. Creations there for VonAsten, probably for Minesweepers just in case. But I'm acting also just to repair his stuff, which is obviously not a bad idea. In the south, Lieutenant caught by the Panzerjägers. Note he's set in defensive mode, digging in a bit. An interesting move there by Baoliang. We got Lieutenant of the bazookas, but there you go. We got Panzerjägers with a bun grenade, blowing apart a transformer and the lieutenant, or generator. I'm not entirely sure what it is. By the way, it's gone. It's no more. Alongside the lieutenant, he's dead, Jim. He's dead. He's deader than disco. Up north, got the Sherman charging forward the 5th Cavalry here. That is going to be very dead as well, unless Baoliang gets out of there fast. Baoliang is still not taking up. He's getting more pioneers, which is not a bad idea to keep his Tiger tank repaired faster. 5th Cavalry straight into the Tiger tank here, close to Veteran 2-1. Shots fired, sandbags absorbing it. Half-track here charging full through the rifle, backed up with the 5th Cavalry there. Damage into the half-track, rifle routed. Troops being suppressed here. 5th Cavalry being finally forced away with the Tiger tank. Veteran 2-1. 24 kills. Jackson taking some hits in there. We got the Sherman pursuing troops into the base. Doesn't look like got any kills, but could theoretically have threatened Baoliang there a bit. Absolutely crazy battle right here on Nexus. VonAsten is slowly once more rebuilding his forces after they've been decimated for the 2nd time here by Baoliang. Seizing the northern victory point, that he's down to 262 versus Baoliang's 245. Oh dear, 5th Cavalry, they're caught by the Ace Assault Grenadiers and the Panzerjägers in support. Sherman being fixed up, off across the front line, pretty risky there for VonAsten, pretty risky. 5th Cavalry rifle moving forwards, Jackson hanging back. Tiger tank fixed up there for Baoliang, and there goes Sherman versus the Panzerjägers. Lands an excellent hit there, taking out half the unit. By the looks of it. Ooh, and a wipe! And a Panther strike dropped at that. That's pretty big there for VonAsten. I mean, he can get his hands on a Panther strike. That'd be certainly helpful there versus Baoliang. But no, his troops are just pushed back as Baoliang secures the area of the drop Panther strike with absolute fervor. His military precision. And there you go, lots of hits on the Tiger tank. Jackson there, halfway to Veteran 2. Tiger tank blitzes force, halfway to Veteran 2 himself. Exposed it to the Sherman tank, pretty risky stuff. But gets away with it and swoops away once more. 5th Caliber stopped in the south by another 50 caliber. Sherman about here, Veteran 2. Catching some assault gunners then a bad spot. We got a 5th Caliber there opening up. The one man by the Panzergrenadier. Back here, troops in reinforcing for VonAsten. And there you go, 50 caliber in trouble with the Sherman. Forcing retreat. We got 125 versus 245. The clock is ticking against VonAsten and the 1st Armoured Division. Something needs to change soon if they want a chance versus the Germans. And we got Baoliang finally taking up there. He could have done that sooner, to be honest. And he still, I think, would benefit from some telemines or S-mines here and there to slow down his opponent. He's got a lot of munitions, he's just doing nothing. So I mean, a good teleman or S-mines could, further just make it harder for VonAsten to get back on the map. Bunkers maybe. Just something I think would say would be a good move there for Baoliang. VonAsten's tanks on the move, rifling 40% line of fire into the waiting jaws of the Tiger tank. Backed up by numerous pioneers and dozens of Panzerjägers. Jackson and Antonati on the Tiger tank there, closing in eventually too. Tiger tank goes for the bits again, backed up by the Panzerjägers. Mobilized and on foot. Motorized, mechanized. Sherman in on the flank though. Jackson got the Tiger tank down to half health. Jackson getting eventually too, by the way. Which increases its rate of fire to make it more lethal. The Tiger tank got the half to rushing northwards there. Sherman trying to escape here. Jackson back at base. Tiger tank very close to eventually too. And there you go. Looks like the Sherman's going to escape here. The horde of Panzerjägers from Baoliang. Seizing the southern point here with the riflemen. We got the 5th coming northwards. Ceiling reinforcing. Jackson slowly moving about here, very slowly. Seizing the southern fuel point here, and the victory point is down to 80 versus Baoliang's 245. Ooh, could catch the pioneers as they repair the Tiger tank. Bit cautious there by Baoliang. He might be getting a bit overconfident here, and there you go. Wasn't quite able to land the hits quickly, and the Jackson instead hit some ambiance there. But the Tiger's not moving. Oh dear, he's taking another hit there from the Jackson. Oh, except it's not even within range. Or can't see it our way though. There you go. Shoots, penetrates the Tiger tank's frontal armor. Nice work there. In the south here we got the trooping in there on the 50 caliber. It's the Major, and it's the Panzer Grenadier 50 caliber at that. And they got bazookas. I mean, they're just dead. Bit of a blow there to VonAsten, and a point where it's only a bit hard to afford those. Half-trick just turning about. There we go, landing a flank, but there's a 50 caliber covering the flank of the first 50 caliber, making much harder here for VonAsten to flank Baoliang's network of machine guns in the south. And now both 50 calibers, including the one with the Panzer Grenadiers, are firing at the rifle inside of the house. That's a really bad spot to be called in. But here we go, big Panzer assault straight to waiting machine guns, hosing down Baoliang's infantry. Jackson takes almost catastrophic damage there, and is only saved by a sliver of health, keeping it operational versus Baoliang. The South 5th Cavalry going for the 5th Cavalry there. Rifleman in as well there. Tiger tank moving for the centre straight at the rifleman. There we go. Jackson forced to fall back. He has to stay ready, but still popping 8 rounds just in case. There he goes. Shoots, hits. And the South push back 150 caliber. In fact, he wiped the Panzer Grenadier at 50 caliber. That's a bit of a blow there to Baoliang. Sherman going for the flank on the Tiger tank, and he's forcing it back there. Eventually, too. As soon as he's done his job, he pulls away. And there you go. Grabs the 50 caliber. Oh dear, mistake here. Mistake by Baoliang in the south. I think he. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but where the 50 caliber removed and just got caught by the 50 calibers. Whew, so many 50 calibers. In fact, now VonAsten has managed to recruit almost all of them. Now has 4 50 calibers, with Baoliang having 1, meaning VonAsten's actually gone for a total of 5 50 calibers this match. That's also pretty rare. I mean, this is a match with a lot of things you usually don't see. I would certainly say put some interesting displays of skill there for forwards. Big horde there from Baoliang moving through the south. Looking to a well. We've got the 5th Cavalry waiting. But there might be a flaw here in VonAsten's offensive plan, which is this wall. I mean, it's got some reasonably nice coverage here, but again, once he sort of realised Baoliang realised what's going on, they can just go up here. VonAsten can't see what's going on then. Of course, they can just flank it with the bung grenade. 72 versus 206, another shot on the way there for VonAsten. Baoliang is... well, he can build now. He should be building and get out some more armour. Bung grenade here, go from the 5th calibers. And there you go. They get away, but it's going to be a close one. There we go. Another bung grenade. Oh! Both bung grenades didn't quite land there. Close one here for Baoliang, but sadly not quite enough. He tried his best, but dice were not with them. Up north is Sherman pushing back with an assault gun in his squad there. He's still got 2 alive. Quite impressive handling of those, to be honest. Sherman in here. Fires a lot of punch eagles. There you go, got the 5th caliber backing up and covering the area here against the punch eagles, making it much harder for Baoliang just to rush them about. So 72 versus 183. Baoliang's target tank advances. Heavy Panzer Corps going to go for a Panther or Sturm Punch, and there you go. Sherman opening up with the advancing punch eagles. Hit here on the Sherman. Grenade off. 5th caliber wiped out here by Baoliang's assault troops. Jackson hanging back very close to the ace level, by the way. Which of course makes it shoot even faster on top of a bunch of other bonuses. It's really the rate of fire bonus that makes Jackson so nasty once you know it. Particularly when you then add in the HVAC rounds and you just heavily do damage to target tanks and stuff like that fast. Panther is on the way here for Baoliang and the 2nd SS target tank move forward here. There you go, Jackson with the HVAC rounds here. Oh, can't see the target tank. There you go, but there you go, the X exposed. There you go, ace level on the Jackson. High rate of fire now available, and the rear is exposed. Another hit, the target tank all taking a few hits from the Sherman, down to half health. But right now, though, Baoliang has overextended. He's left the target tank isolated and without support. Jackson there going for another hit there. Troops can use the spot for the Jackson. Tiger tank there. Very low in health now. We got Punch Eagles moving in there trying to catch up with it, but can he do it? Oh, another gap there, possibly spotted. There we go, another hit here. Panzerschrecks flying at the Jackson tank. The tank shoots too soon. Giving their free shot here for the Jackson, and the Tiger tank goes down. VonAsten has knocked out Baoliang's Tiger tank, who cancel the Tiger tank, or the Panther, for another Tiger tank. You can't cancel a call in like that. So that is quite a blow there to Baoliang. And means VonAsten actually might have a chance of winning this properly, because now he's got the larger force and he's got more veteran armor compared with Baoliang, who again was too late to call in the other armor to support his Tiger tank. Is now forced to call in another Tiger tank, but is now much more outgunned. Plus, VonAsten's got a lot more 5th caliber back, so he can also now more easily control Baoliang's infantry. The situation has turned a bit aggressively here against Baoliang once more, but can he pull himself out? Who knows? Time to move up. They almost got the Sherman here. Could take it out. That would be certainly helpful there for Baoliang. And the 2nd SS. Jackson moving up though. Gets in the way. Oh, shoots and hits some barrels instead. Sherman flanking up. He pioneers trying to back up the Tiger tank. There you go. Heavy damage to the Tiger tank already from the Jackson. Sherman moving up there. Wipes the unit on retreat there. Getting a punch group out of the way. Jackson, they could possibly pursue the Tiger tank. There you go. The Sherman is blocking the retreat path of the Tiger tank. The Tiger tank bow is too occupied with the Sherman, meaning the Jackson needs to move up from the front and just shoot away with it. And Tiger tank's turret is too slow to turn about to deal with it. This is pretty big here for VonAsten and pretty bad for Baoliang, because then he doesn't even get the Sherman and the Jackson's likely going to get a 2nd Tiger. Absolutely brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. We're down to 120 versus 72. Baoliang's forces have suffered heavy casualties by now. 2 Tiger tanks have been knocked out in these ruined areas. He still has plenty of infantry, but again, with a lot of 5th calibers out and a lot of Shermans, Baoliang's infantry will find itself with less traction. As VonAsten is very much intent on making the ground as absolutely slippery with the blood of Baoliang's own men. So now, of course, the question is, what will he go for? I mean, he can go for a Panther, he could go for the Tiger tank again. Had he gone for support Macron, instead he could probably got 8 guns, something up fast to support the first Tiger tank. He just gone for a bunch of Stoogs, which, you know, in some ways countered the Jackson's probably the best, since they're just more cost effective and have a, you know, high rate of fire. 102 versus 72. But an absolute crazy match here on Nexus. Punch exiting northwards here. Sherman there with 30 kills. Another Sherman on the way there for VonAsten, showing certainly that the Sherman is good. And I think undervalued by a lot of American players who tend to complain that Sherman is weak, but again, a well-handled Sherman is quite powerful. Again, the smoke and ability to switch ammunition is very powerful, as again, self-repair makes it just a very flexible weapons platform. Assault is strained to the 5th caliber up north here. Troops being held back. Pioneers there in a house that's about to collapse. So Baoliang can soon go for the Panther, but again he might simply be planning here for a Tiger tank again, but the question is if it will be enough from time really. Assault is then almost being annihilated here by VonAsten's Sherman hordes. Gotta wipe somewhere, and there you go, the assault is like splattered out, their 50 cap up north wiped. But Baoliang is finding more and more difficult to deal with all the Shermans since they're just not able to lay down so much firepower. They're even the Panzerjägers, they can't really get enough firepower back on VonAsten's tank to threaten them. He's going for the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. In the meanwhile though, VonAsten is just having a field day here as Baoliang is unable to effectively resist the armoured forces of VonAsten, the 1st Armoured Division. And he's just going to town here on Baoliang. Panther halfway done, Panzerjägers are busy elsewhere. 65 versus 72. An amazing comeback here by VonAsten. Panther is almost done there for Baoliang, but so are his forces. So we call in here on the 5th Cav in the south. Looks like he's not paying attention. I think he's just waiting for something to arrive here with the Jackson there. Got to the firing down, wiping out the 5th caliber. Baoliang is just down to 1 assault grenadier squad, 2 Panzerjägers and the Panther, which arrives here straight into the Shermans. Do not have armor piercing rounds ready, but of course we do have the Ace Jackson here ready to back things up. 53 versus 72. Now the Sherman moving up. We got the H-rate rounds ready. I mean, VonAsten is just waiting for the Panther to show its ugly face. There we go, direct hit. Sherman shot bounces off the Panther. Jackson gets through with ease. There you go. Panther down to almost half health here. There you go. It is down to half health now. 46 versus 72. Baoliang keeps fighting. He keeps believing in Sieg. Up north, grab the victory point there. In the background, Basil seems a bit upset. There you go, Panther taking a lot of shots there, some bounce, but in the end, a bunch of them do, but it's not enough. There you go, the Jackson takes out the Panther on that. Baoliang's last attempt here to turn the situation around has failed, and VonAsten proves to be the winner here in absolutely brutal engagement. Crazy stuff here with heavy casualties on both sides. In the end, VonAsten persevered a bit better. Baoliang, I feel like, got to a tad too overconfident, didn't take up fast enough to back up his Tiger tank, ensuring that VonAsten could slow down around. Being good, using the Jackson, hard countering the Tiger slowly once he got the high levels of veterancy. Plus, good use the machine as infantry, whereas Baoliang, just also feel like failed to use his munitions sufficient. There's no mines there to slow down his opponent and make it hard for him to push forward. So that really also gave VonAsten some good chance to get back there. So absolutely amazing fight though, with some great displays down both sides. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on, tell your friends, tell your family. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. This is Imperial saying cheers, and I'm sure Battle is also saying cheers to you. Bye.